In a small green village lived a young girl named Amma. Amma had just gone through a very difficult time in her life. The death of her father and mother, who were poisoned by her uncle Kofi and aunt Akua during a family celebration. His uncle and aunt wanted to take all of her father's wealth, and that is why they poisoned him and his wife. While Amma was sitting in the living room crying warmly, her uncle and aunt came in. She thought they had come to console her when suddenly Uncle Kofi spoke. "Start packing your bags to get out of this house. From now on, we are the ones who are going to live here." "But uncle, this is my father's house. Where do you want me to go?" "Shut up, you idiot. In 2 weeks a man from the city will come here to look for you. You will go to the city with him and you will marry him. He has already paid us your dowry, so start getting ready." "But uncle, I am not ready to marry." Before she finished, his sentence a slap resounded across her face. "I have nothing more to add. If I come back here and your bags are not packed, you will see what I am made of. They tell you that you are going to marry a rich man, and instead of jumping for joy, you are complaining. How can one be so stupid?" added her Aunt Akua. After these words, they turned around and left the living room. Amma was lost. She collapsed on the ground and began to cry. She had just been sold to a man she knew nothing about. 2 weeks later, a beautiful car came to park in the village. It was the man who was supposed to leave with Amma. He was a very rich and well-groomed man named Kwame who lived in town. He made Amma get into his car under the gaze of some of the villagers who had never seen such a beautiful car. They then left the village to head towards the city. Amma had never been to the city and she did not know what awaited her. She was stressed throughout the journey. Once arrived at Kwame's house, Amma was impressed by the beauty and luxury in which he lived. She was both shocked and stressed. Once in the living room, she tried to start a conversation with the gentleman who was now her husband to know more about him. "Can you tell me a little more about yourself, sir?" she asked, looking curious. He replied, "My name is Kwame, and all I care about right now is making enough money. As you have already noticed, I am very rich." Amma replied, "Yes, I have noticed. What do you like and what do you not like?" Kwame replied, "What I like is money, and what I do not like is being without money." Surprised by his answer, she asked, "Are there things you hate? You do an inspection, madam, or you are a private detective?" Amma replied that she simply wanted to know a little more about him. "I am now called to live with you, and I know nothing about you, so it is normal that I want to know you better." The young man replied, "Your uncle and aunt told me that you were not educated, but I already see the opposite." Amma realized that it would be useless to continue asking him questions because he was too aggressive. She decided to postpone. "We will talk again later. I wish you a good night." Kwame also wished her a good night and asked her to go to bed in their room. She collected her things and went to settle in Kwame's room. The next day, very early, the young woman notices that her husband was no longer there. Would he have already left for work, she wondered. She got up and started to do the housework. She cleaned the whole living room and put away all the furniture, then she cooked for herself and for Kwame. In the evening, as soon as he got home, Amma told him that she had already prepared for him. "I have already cooked for the two of us. You can come and eat after your shower." To her great surprise, Kwame replied, "I am not hungry. I already ate in town before coming home. You can eat without me." Amma replied sadly, "But I took the time to prepare the meal for the two of us." The young man answered her, raising his voice, "Listen, don't annoy me. Don't think that you are already my wife. I married you just to be able to send photos to my parents when I need them. I can't marry a village girl like you." Stunned, she replied, "You are married to me for photos?" "Yes," he replied, "I married you just because of my parents who keep asking me if I'm not married. Now I could send them pictures to make them believe that I'm already married. That's why I let you sleep in my bed yesterday." "Well, if that's the way, can you let me go back to the village since you already have your pictures?" "No," he replied, "my parents are unpredictable. They can ask me for pictures again at any time. I can't let you go. I'm sorry, but I can't live like this. If I got married to you, know that I also have expectations because I'm not an object. If you can't meet my expectations, then let me go back to the village." "Go back to the village? I didn't spend so much money to leave you like that." Do you know how much I paid your aunt and your uncle to leave with you? Did you marry me or did you buy me? Well, both, replied Kwame. Well, if you can't let me go back to the village, could you help me get a job too? I'm not going to stay here all day long doing nothing while you go to your work. No, the television you see in the living room is not there for nothing. You can watch television if you're bored. You don't need to work. There is everything you need in this house. Amma lowered her head sadly. Her uncle and aunt had sold her to a man who thought she was a puppet. Kwame went to the bedroom and received a call from her mother. Hello, my son. Can you put me through to my daughter-in-law? I want to hear her voice. Kwame handed the phone to Amma. Hello, how are you, my daughter? I'm fine, Mom. Mom, and you? I'm fine too. When are you going to give me grandchildren, my daughter? Asked Kwame's mother, looking excited. Soon, madam. Mom, replied Amma before hanging up. At the end of the call, Kwame asked her, why did you tell my mother that you were going to give her grandchildren? I told you that I wanted to have children with a village girl like you. But I did it to help you, she replied. I just made sure that your parents didn't suspect anything. That's not what you wanted. And so is that a reason to say such a thing to my mother? You think that I'm in your category. I don't feel the need to get married yet, and even less to have children. When I'm ready, I will marry a woman who really suits me, a woman of my social standing, and with her I will have children. But what about me? I am also a woman, and I'm not going to waste my time here for nothing. Kwame replied, you are not of my social standing. In addition, you do not take care of yourself. You have dirty hair and old and faded clothes. If my hair and clothes bother you to this point, I will find a job myself in order to earn money to exchange it here. I already told you that money is not a problem for me. Here, this money, buy new clothes and take care of your hair. After the discussion, she gathered her things and went to lie down on the sofa while Kwame slept upstairs. The next day, as soon as Kwame left for work, she also went to put all the money he had given her on the table. I do not need this money. I do not want his money. I am not an object. I will do my best to find a job here. I do not need to tell him since he will not help me. I still have my certificate with me. Maybe that will be enough to get a job here in the city. She left the house, then began to roam the streets of the city. She asked for work in several companies in the city and ended up getting hired to sell in an electronics store. In the evening, when he came back from work, Kwame had forgotten to pay for food before going home. He was so hungry that he went to the kitchen to see if there was anything to eat. Luckily, Amma had prepared something. He took the food in secret and began to eat with appetite. Wow, this meal is really delicious. I didn't know that this village woman knew how to cook so well. But if I ask her to cook for me, she will think she is my wife, and I don't want to take that risk. He quickly swallowed a few mouthfuls and rushed to his room to go to bed before Amma's surprise. It was then that he realized that the money he had given her the day before was on the table. He went to Amma's room and asked her, "Why did you deposit the money I gave you yesterday?" "I don't need it," she replied. "If you don't consider me as your wife, I don't need to make myself beautiful for you. What would be the point? I don't consider you as my husband either, so you can keep your money." Kwame replied, "I'm not giving you this money to please yourself. You must look beautiful and presentable in the photos so that my parents don't suspect anything. They have already made comments to me about your clothes, so you must change them. In this case, I will lend you the money to change my clothes, but I will pay you back your money later," she replied. "Tomorrow, when I get back from work, I don't want to see you in these conditions anymore," he ordered. "You can sleep in my room if you want, or in the room on the ground floor. It's up to you." Amma went to bed on the couch on the ground floor. The next day, Kwame went to his job as usual. As soon as he left the house, Amma also went to the shop where she was employed. Every day she made sure to get home as quickly as possible before Kwame arrived. At the end of the day, she went to a shop and bought new clothes as Kwame had asked her. In the evening, when Kwame had forgotten to take his keys, he knocked on the door and Amma came to open it for him. Amma had changed her outfit and was wearing a nice tight dress that showed off her body. As soon as she opened the door, Kwame started looking at her stupidly instead of going in. "You've been here for 3 minutes. If you don't want to come in, then I'll close the door. You look very beautiful tonight," he admired. "Thank you. You can come in now," replied Amma. Kwame came in, still looking at her. "Can you get me something to eat?" he asked. "I'm really hungry." Since when do you eat my food? You told me last time that you didn't want any, so I didn't cook for you today. Please make me something to eat, Amma, he asked her in a calm and respectful tone. Amma went to the kitchen and cooked something for him. While he ate, he was more focused on Amma than on his dish. He looked at her and said to himself, "She is really very beautiful." In reality, he tried to concentrate and think of something else, but he couldn't stop himself from looking at this beautiful body that was outlined under this tight dress. After finishing eating, he approached Amma. He slid his hand on her shoulder tenderly and asked her, "Can you sleep in my room today, please?" But Amma was upset. "I don't want to. I prefer to sleep on the ground floor as usual. You are my wife. I am your husband, and you have to do what I ask you. So tonight you will sleep with me in our room." Amma was wondering what was happening to him. First he eats my food, and now he wants me to sleep in his room. "I don't want to," replied Amma. "I prefer to sleep on the ground floor. Listen, I am the man, and I am the one who decides." Without further ado, he started to take Amma's things back to his room. A husband and wife must sleep in the same room, and that is what we are. From now on, you will have to sleep in the same room as me. You can't leave the room and sleep on the ground floor. "But what is happening to you tonight?" asked Amma. "You just have to go turn off the TV in the living room and come sleep next to your husband," he answered. Without asking her, he turned off the television and dragged her with him to his room. They slept together. The next day, after Kwame left, Amma also went to her new job in the electronics store. All day while he worked, Kwame wondered what was happening to him. Normally, he had married Amma for the photos, but now he was starting to fall in love with her. "How could I fall in love with a village girl? This was not my plan," he repeated in his head. "Well, I have to focus on my work and forget about this girl. She is not even of my social status. A respectable man like me should not be interested in an ordinary girl like her." Meanwhile, Amma was also asking herself tons of questions. How could he change so quickly? I hope I have nothing to fear with him. With people like him, you can expect anything. That day, Kwame was so distracted and unfocused that he decided to go home because all his thoughts brought him back to the young woman. When he arrived, he noticed that she wasn't in her room and that she wasn't anywhere in the house. 3 hours passed and she still hadn't come back. Furious, he started to wonder where she could be. He went out of the house to see if she was around. Suddenly, he saw a car approaching in the distance. He turned around in the house as soon as he saw Amma in the car. When Amma entered, he was already waiting for her, looking angry. "Where were you, madam?" Judging by Kwame's angry red face, Amma already knew she was done for. "I went to buy something," she replied, trembling, while her body was already covered in sweat. "Where is this thing?" asked Kwame. "I ate it on the way. It was food." With a disgusted look, he replied, "Not only are you a liar, but you are also a prostitute. What can you go looking for food for more than 3 hours just when I am not at home? And who brought you back?" "It was someone who just wanted to help me. That's all," she explained, "and I am not a prostitute." "You have it, and you are a cheap prostitute," exclaimed Kwame. "You couldn't find anything better to do." Amma replied, looking annoyed, "Yes, I am a prostitute. What does it matter to you anyway? I am not married to you. I don't own you anything. You already told me that we are together just for pictures. I am free to do what I want and manage my life as I see it. I use my body to prostitute myself, not yours." Kwame replied to her, "It is not just your body anymore. It is also mine. I paid a lot for your dowry. You are mine. I have all the drugs on you because you belong to me." "Why does that make you angry?" asked Amma. "You always told me that you intended to marry a woman who would suit you and with whom you would have children. So let me do what I want too." "Listen, young lady," continued Kwame. "From now on, you will not go out to buy anything. If you have to leave this house, it will be with me. I don't trust you anymore. I am not a prostitute and I never will be. I am a woman with principles and values, so I will not let you treat me like that. You don't have to forbid me anything. Well, enough talking. I will try to believe your lies today. Now make me something to eat. From now on, I will have my breakfast, my lunch, and even my dinner at home. I can't go outside anymore." Amma went to the kitchen, looking angry, and made him something to eat. As soon as she served him the meal, Kwame refused to eat alone. He asked her to join him to eat with him. Despite the young woman's protests, she finally gave in because she knew that it would be useless to argue with a man like him because he was always right. They ate together for the first time and slept together in their room. For the whole month, Kwame came home every afternoon, but Amma was never at home. He didn't reproach her because he wanted to carry out his investigations alone. He decided to devote an entire day to following her to find out where she goes every day. The next morning, instead of going to work, he waited outside in his car without Amma noticing. When she finished getting ready, she went out and took a taxi. Kwame followed the taxi with his car and saw her get off in front of a store. Kwame wondered what she would do in a store. Amma came in and started selling like she was used to. Kwame realized that she was actually working in the store. He was relieved. "At least she's not cheating on me," he said to himself. "Luckily, I didn't confront her. It could have gone badly." He then went home to rest, very tired of having finally stressed himself out for nothing. Now he had peace of mind. When Amma came back in the evening, she found that Kwame was already home. His car was parked in the yard. She knew he would be furious again, and this time she would have no way out to justify herself. She went to the bedroom to discreetly drop off her bag, but Kwame was already waiting for her and surprised her. "So where were you this time?" he asked. "Don't tell me you went shopping again because I stayed home all morning, but I didn't see you." "I didn't feel well. I had a fever and a headache, so I came home to rest, and that's when all morning you weren't there." "Can you give me a convincing reason why you weren't home since the morning? You have a fever, don't you?" "Let me give you some medicine first," she replied, ignoring his main question. "No, there's no need," Kwame cried. "I already took the medicine and I feel much better now. Don't pretend to ignore my question. Just tell me where you were. If you don't answer me, I will leave the house for good, and you won't see me again." "Don't do that. I know you won't be happy to learn where I was and what I was doing, but I just want you to understand that I'm not a prostitute. In fact, I went to work. I found a job selling in a shop. I'm bored every day at home, and I feel useless doing nothing. Why would I stay at home doing nothing when I could also be doing something and earning money?" Kwame replied to her, "Why should my wife work as a saleswoman in a shop? You know very well that I'm a fairly respected man, or you don't know. How do you know that I'm a saleswoman in a shop?" Amma was surprised. "And why do you still call me your wife?" "Listen, Amma, at first I married to cheat on my parents and send them pictures every time they ask me, but now I think that it's time to tell you that things have changed over time. You now mean a lot more to me. I think I've fallen in love with you, Amma. If you want to work, I won't stop you anymore since you really want to, but this time you will work with me in my department, or rather our department if you prefer." Amma was surprised. "I admit I don't really know what to say to you. I wasn't at all prepared for what you just said." "Come on, let's go shopping," he suggested. "I'm very tired today and I don't feel like going out," she replied. "Okay, no problem. Tomorrow then." Amma was very happy. "How can you believe that a man as withdrawn as him can fall in love with me so quickly and say that I love him too? I'll make sure he doesn't realize it. I'll try to make him walk first to see how persistent he will be, and then we'll see." The next day, as agreed, Kwame took her to the mall to go shopping and get her hair done. He had become so attentive and caring. Amma wondered if he was really the man she had known when he arrived. After shopping, they went to a restaurant in the city for a romantic dinner thought up by Kwame. While he chatted, and when she least expected it, Kwame knelt down in front of her and took a ring out of his pocket. He asked her, "Will you be my wife, Amma?" There were a lot of people looking at them. Amma didn't want to give him an answer anytime soon, but she also didn't want to humiliate him in front of so many people. Anyway, she loved him too. She decided to take the plunge. "Will you love me and cherish me like your husband?" He added to fill Amma's silence, which was becoming awkward for him. "And well, get up him," she replied, not holding his hand. She kissed him to the applause of everyone present. Everyone was clapping, and you can read in the eyes of the girls present the desire to be at Amma's. Once she got home, Amma announced to Kwame that she would sleep on the ground floor to tease him. "You will sleep on the ground floor? Okay, good night. In that case, don't talk to me tomorrow either. Now you can go. I want to sleep." Amma sat on the bed behind him and answered him with a teasing look. Oh, he is angry, my handsome husband. You are handsome even when you are angry. I love you, my love. Sleep well." At these words, he stood up abruptly. "Please repeat what you just said." "But I thought you were already asleep," she mocked. "You are not sleeping anymore." "Please repeat what you just said," almost begged Kwame. "I said I love you, my lovely husband." Kwame was very happy. He took her in his arms, covered her with kisses, and they kissed. That night, it was different. They slept together, but this time like true lovers. The next day, they both got ready and Kwame took her to his office. Once inside, she exclaimed, "Wow, it's so beautiful here. This place is magnificent. It's your company where you simply work here." She couldn't believe it. She had never seen anything so big and so beautiful. Kwame replied that it was his company and that from now on, she would also work there. With a teasing look, he added, "You will be my employee, but I will not pay you." Amma started to laugh. "I prefer that than staying at home every day without doing anything. More working with you would allow me to admire you all the time. You work here, but I will be on the other side so we can concentrate better." He introduced her to the company staff and showed her around and everything she needed to know about her new job. Once the inspection was over, they went back to the house. Once at home, Kwame's mother called. "I'm very angry with you, Amma. You don't want to give me grandchildren, so you just lied to me." Amma replied, "Mom, when will you come back to visit us?" "Not before you give me grandchildren," she replied. "Mom, it's your son. It's him who doesn't want to have children yet. He doesn't want to touch me. Give him the phone. I have a few words to say to him." Kwame replied immediately, "No, Mom, I'm ready to have as many children as you want." Confused, she replied, "Since you haven't decided, I'll give you a year to introduce me to my grandson or granddaughter. After a year, I will come to visit you, me and your father to see our grandson." "Consider that it's done, Mom," replied Kwame. They said goodnight and lie end. At the sudden call, he asked her, "Why did you tell Mom that I don't touch you?" "I just said what is true," she replied. "Have you ever touched me once, or were you waiting for me to make the first move? You could have told me if you wanted. I didn't want to put pressure on you, let alone do something you wouldn't want to do. But if you want, why not have our first child tonight?" "Okay, but you'll have to catch me first," she replied. She started to run, prompting Kwame to chase her. That night, they shared their first intimacy. 2 weeks later, they went to Amma's village, and with the help of a lawyer employed by Kwame, Amma got her father's house back and all the possessions that her uncle and aunt had stolen from her. All the villagers admired Amma. She was radiant. She had become a very beautiful and well-groomed woman. Kwame and Amma lived happily, and a few months later, Amma discovered that she was pregnant. She then gave birth to a baby boy, and her mother-in-law and father-in-law came to visit her as he had planned. They were very happy. Amma's uncle and aunt had planned to destroy her life, forcing her to marry a man she did not know, but things turned out in her favor because she had a pure heart and was innocent. Kwame, in his position as a rich and respectable man, ended up marrying a village woman, which proves that life always has surprises in store for us. Love is a strong and beautiful feeling. Always stay yourself and let your detractors and enemies fall back into the traps they set for you. If this story touched your heart, please leave the lesson you've learned from it in the comments section, and don't forget to always like the video. See you in our next story. Have a great day. Bye-bye.